This is a former baby home converted now to a day center and a group home.
A dead end for children, Bulgaria's group homes, is the product of an investigation by Disability Rights International onto the human rights of children and young people in Bulgaria's childcare system. DRI visited 24 group homes, 5 day centers, 4 large institutions, 2 schools, and other programs for children with disabilities. This report finds that Bulgaria's childcare reforms over the last decade have replaced a system of large orphanages with newer, smaller buildings that are still operating as institutions.
I don't know if it's a lack of digestion. My guess would be when she was born, she was just put in a crib and never moved.
This child is 22. This girl, they can prevent further disability. With attention and positioning and physical therapy, this child does not have to become like the one next door.
Inside Bulgaria's group homes, DRI investigators observed conditions that are strikingly similar to what DRI investigators observed in the institutions and orphanages the world over. Children sitting motionless in chairs, couches, or benches, or on concrete floors sitting in pervasive inactivity. Conditions are regimented and individualized care is lacking. Some children have shaved heads and such drab clothing it is impossible to tell whether they are boys or girls. We observe children rocking back and forth, hitting themselves, biting their hands, or poking fingers in their eyes. These conditions are a product of long-term emotional neglect as children grow up without the love and care of a family. And as is common in institutions, children with little stimulation or positive role models develop behavioral problems and are more prone to violence and bullying of other children. Small children living with unrelated adolescents or adults are particularly at risk.
She bangs herself, she bangs the crib. We're told that there's no specific behavioral programs for that. It's just a lack of stimulation. So they can't watch him, so he has to be put in the little cage. He broke out, jumped out the window, so that's why they keep him in there.
The closure of Bulgaria's old orphanages was an enormous accomplishment that saved the lives of many children. But the new model of care, based on placement in group homes, is inadequate and will only lead to continued emotional damage and increased disabilities. The European Union has contributed to these problems by investing in buildings rather than families. The new UN Convention on the Rights of Persons with Disabilities requires Bulgaria to protect the rights of all children to live and grow up with a family. DRI calls for an immediate moratorium on building new group homes. Urgent efforts should be made to protect families so no new admissions are needed. Every child should be in a family and not in an institution or group home. For more information, see www.driadvocacy.org.